Hi, and welcome to academic planning season here at Ridge High School in Bernards Township, New Jersey. We're getting all set for the 2023-2024 school year. Wow, it's going to be here before we know it. My name is John Terry. I'm the K-12 Social Studies Supervisor for Bernards Township School District. And if you have the opportunity to join us at Academic Planning Night at Ridge High School, you will also have the opportunity to meet Mr. Malcolm Coates and Mr. Mike McTiernan, who teach our ninth grade global history courses. In the event that you are not able to join us, or in the event that you are able to join us and want to access this video for your own personal reference, that is precisely why I am providing you with this video. Just to give you a quick little overview of our social studies program in Bernards Township Schools, it is our critical mission, and and by we I mean our staff members in our department, as well as the other folks that we work with, whether they're special ed teachers, media center specialists, our school administration. We all come together and we really want to support young people in becoming knowledgeable, thoughtful, and active citizens. And what you see here are a list of goals, right? These are more specific goals about how we foresee us fulfilling that mission. So there's specific knowledge, concepts, and skills that we want kids to understand and be able to know and do. And a lot of that also relates to the basic ideals of American society, right? We are a public school in the United States, and we want to make sure that kids are committed to ideals like liberty, justice, equality, dignity for all people. And we expect our students to generally develop a good, healthy set of critical thinking skills, decision-making strategies. We want kids to have the ability or the awareness of what it means to actively participate in society. And we actually provide students with service learning opportunities, which to me personally, I think is really a unique and great part of our social studies program in Bernards Township. And we give students with tools to understand the social scientific method, right? Problem solving, right? Thinking about, what are some of the issues or problems that exist in our world and how do we solve those problems? That's really integral to best practices in social studies. And we want to make sure that we provide our students in Bernards Township with, really cutting edge opportunities that are available in the world of social studies. And social studies is a nice, big, broad umbrella, right? So social studies, typically we're talking about history, but we're also talking about civics, geography, behavioral sciences. So those are other parts of the social studies discipline. And students do have a variety of opportunities to access different parts of the social studies discipline in our program of studies, which I will share with you in a moment. And we also try to foster in students a sense of the globalized nature of the world that we're living in. We do know that our students that live here in Bernards Township, they bring a whole lot of cultural wealth with them to the classroom. So we try to reflect that and lift that up in the classroom environment, and then also help expose students to become a little more aware of what else is going on in the world beyond their community. So if you take a look at this, and if you go to our district website and go to the social studies website in particular, you'll have access to this as well. And we'll have flyers and handouts at academic planning night. But this is basically a brief overview of our program of studies at Ridge. So, you are the parent of an eighth grader right now. They're taking a course which we call Global History 1, which is basically like ancient and medieval history, which is what we call. So bringing kids up to the modern day. And then kids continue that sequence in their ninth grade course, which is what we call Global History 2. And then what you see here is there are basically two options for students when they're taking that ninth grade Global History 2 course. There's the college prep course, and then there's the honors course. And I'm going to get into the differences between those two courses in a moment. 10th grade students typically take a U.S. history course that is a required course. By the way, the grades 9, 10, 11 courses I'm going to share with you here, they are required courses for graduation. So all students have to take these courses, and we do recommend they take these courses in this sequence. So 10th grade is a U.S. history course. It's a chronological study of all United States history from the colonial period to the present. And there are three options here: a college prep level, an honors level, and an advanced placement level. And then you'll see the 11th grade. We offer a really, really cool, unique opportunity here in Bernards Township for students to learn about US government and also economics through a somewhat historical lens, right? Kids are required to take 2 years of history in the state of New Jersey, but we really want to give students with access to a greater, broader, deeper understanding of civics related concepts to understand how our government works. And to me, that's a real strength of our social studies program here in Bernards Township. And then what you'll notice here, there's different pathways, right? So depending on which level course the student is in, that might open up different opportunities for them later, um, throughout their course of study at Ridge High School. And today I'm going to specifically talk about, when your child is moving from 8th to ninth grade, what are those options? And then what options they might be looking at as they finish their ninth grade course, because that's probably what you want to be thinking about at this particular time. But also, just to make you aware, there are a whole really great breadth of social studies elective opportunities that are available to our students, particularly beginning in the sophomore and junior years of their time at Ridge High School. So some of those are semester electives. Maybe your child is just kind of interested in a topic, but they're not really sure, what psychology is or what sociology is. Well, our semester elective courses are a really great opportunity for your kids to kind of get their feet wet and try something out in a relatively low stakes environment. We also offer full year elective courses, a whole bunch of AP courses: AP Human Geography, European History, Economics, and Psychology. Students will have the opportunity to earn college credit potentially by taking those courses and taking the exam at the end of the course. It's a College Board certified course, those 4 courses. And then we also offer a current issues full year elective course for our seniors. You'll notice that there are some asterisks and other symbols next to a couple of these courses, so I'll explain those real quickly. Our sociology, ethics, and current issues electives, we offer an honors option for students who are eligible to take the honors option in those courses. And your child's counselor can kind of talk through which might be more suitable, college prep or honors. But we do offer different options for each of those electives. And for our AP Psychology course, this is brand new for next year. What we can offer is, if a student is eligible for AP Psychology, they can also technically be enrolled as a William Patterson University student while taking that course. And if they get a C or above in the course, then they can earn college credit while taking that course. And that might be something you might want to consider down the road. That's a brand new offering for next year. And then also the ethics honors option is a brand new offering we have available for next year as well. So anyway, we can certainly talk all about our program of studies and what you might be interested in and what your child might be interested in for the next few years, anywhere down the road. But what we're going to focus on today is ninth grade Global History 2. This course is taught by ninth grade teachers who really know how to work with incoming freshmen. And like I said before, this is the second part of the global history sequence. But these teachers, they really want global history to come alive for students. And frankly, I think they do a really great job of doing that. They make the curriculum relevant to students' lives. And some of these big questions, right? They might sound like, the questions that a teenager might have. Have you ever wondered why you and your friends go to school, or why we have the right to free speech, or maybe even where pizza comes from? These are the kinds of questions that actually come up during this course. And the teachers and students, they have a whole variety of learning experience for kids to roll up their sleeves and dive into answering some of those questions in really fun and engaging ways. The curriculum of this course really starts in what we call the late Middle Ages, about 1200 CE up to the present day. They try to really take a global focus. So, traditionally, this used to be what we call a Western civilization course, but now we try to, make sure that we cover European, Asian, African, American history. We want to really reflect the lived experiences of the kids in our classrooms and try to make them more globally aware, like I was saying before. And there's also a skills focus in this course. It's really not just about learning historical content, but it's also about developing specific sets of skills that are really, really essential for the discipline, where your kids can really think critically, analyze, how the world has come to be the way it is, and communicate that, right? How do you demonstrate that you know that information? Um, Compared to some of the other disciplines, there isn't a whole wide menu for you to think about as you're going from eighth grade to ninth grade. Really, the one big decision that you have to think about in social studies is whether or not you will be taking the college prep course, right, which will certainly be preparing you for college, right, or the honors level course, which is for students who are not only trying to prepare for college, but they're independent learners. They've done really well in eighth grade social studies. And I'd like you to consider this question here, right? Where will you really thrive as a learner, right? So we want your ninth grade year at Ridge High School to be fun, to be enjoyable, to be one in which you really grow, right? Which is not always easy. But we want to make sure that you're not just surviving and hanging on for dear life, right? And we know that a lot of students here, they are really interested in our upper level offerings, honors and AP classes, but we really want you to think really carefully about what is going to be the best experience for you. Your eighth grade teachers, they're going to be making recommendations. Those recommendations are often related to the grade that you get in the eighth grade class. But the teachers' recommendations are not binding, the recommendations. And we do hope that you do take their recommendations seriously, because we find that teachers are really good. Our eighth grade teachers are really good at making recommendations. And ultimately, what we do, the really binding criteria that we have, which will allow you to take the honors class if you want to, is if you have an A minus or better in your eighth grade global history course. If you have an A minus or better, that will make you eligible for the honors class. And then it really is up to you if you want to take that honors class or not. If you don't have an A minus or better, you're going to be taking the college prep course, which is totally fine as well, right? It's going to prepare you for college, and you'll still have plenty of other options in our social studies program down the road. So these are some things to think about as you go about this decision here, right? And weighing college prep or honors, which is right for me. Do you like social studies and history? If you like it, you'll probably be more what we call intrinsically motivated, right? You'll be more inspired to do the work, and you'll want to do the work, and you'll probably enjoy it to a decent extent, right? Are you genuinely curious about history and the impact it has had on the world we're living in today? Are you self-motivated and able to work independently, right? Think the key word here is honors, right? You will be on your honors, right? The teacher will be there to support you and guide you, but they won't be there to hold your hand all the time, right? You have to be able to work and think independently, and there's going to be some reading and writing. You have to be interested in and willing to do the reading and writing that's required in an honors level course. Some other considerations, right? The age and maturity level is something that we think about as teachers and educators. Um, Thinking about balance, right, with other life commitments, right? If we play a lot of sports, we're in a lot of clubs, maybe we don't have time for all the honors level homework, right? So you really want to think carefully about that. How much time do you really want to spend learning and thinking about history? And are you interested in taking that AP history class in 10th grade, right? So if you're going to be in the honors class, that's going to make it much, 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 much more likely for you to be able to take an AP class in history your 10th grade year. But of course, that's just 10th grade, right? 11th and 12th grade, there are a whole lot more options available to you. Those are college level classes, frankly, those AP classes. So, we really try to steer students to think about taking those classes later on in their high school experience. So hopefully the side-by-side comparison helps you out a little bit as well. The CP course, there's no weighted credit compared to the honors course. CP students or college prep students are expected to do some independent work, but not really as much as the honor students, right, who are regularly doing independent work. There should be an emphasis on knowledge acquisition in the CP class, right? In other words, are you learning history? Are you paying attention? In the honors class, are you not only just paying attention and learning the history, but can you apply it and think critically about it and evaluate it? In the college prep class, the teacher understands that not every student necessarily is in love with history, and that's totally fine, right? This is a required class, and the teachers try to make it really, engaging in all possible ways for you. But in the honors level class, right, the teacher kind of assumes that you're interested in the material in some way. And again, right, thinking about where you go from ninth grade to 10th grade, if you have an A minus or better in your global history college prep class, you will have the option to take honors in 10th grade, right? So, kind of like from 8th grade to ninth grade, that honors option is available for you in 10th grade. However, the AP option, because an AP course is really, really challenging, we want to make sure that students are prepared to take that. We don't want students to struggle unnecessarily in an AP class. So that becomes an option for ninth grade honors students who do pretty well in their honors class. But for the CP students, typically, traditionally, we've not let students go from global history CP to AP US history, although next year we will make that possible for some few exceptions, right? If you have an A plus in ninth grade global history two, um, you know, A plus is not easy to do, but if you get an A plus, you're able to get a teacher recommendation, and then you're able to go through what we call an appeals process. With my approval, supervisor approval, you may be able to take the AP US History course. But if you really, really, really want to take AP US History in 10th grade, then I would consider taking the ninth grade Global History Honors course. Thinking about time commitments in terms of homework, right? There's going to be a little more homework in the honors class. Hopefully, these examples give you a sense of how much more work. Homework is generally checked for completeness and thoroughness in the honors class. Not to the same extent in the college prep class. And when it comes to the assignments, students tend to get a little more time to work on projects and assignments in class in the college prep course. The honors class, it's more of an expectation that a lot of the work will be done at home. And if you come in for academic planning night, we're going to kind of put in front of you some side-by-side examples. For example, that you might have a chance to look at the modern world problem project, right? So, taking a look at issues in the world today, what does the level and rigor of work look like in an honors class versus the college prep class? So I'd really like to thank you for joining me in this video presentation. I do hope that you join us for academic planning night on Wednesday, January 11th. And if you're not able to join us or you want to reach out to us, our contact information is provided for you here. My name is Mr. John Terry. I can be reached at jterry@bernardsboe.com. And at academic planning night, you'll also have the opportunity to reach out to Mr. Coates and Mr. McTiernan. They're great resources as well. They may be able to answer your questions in some ways better than I can because they're the teachers who are in the classrooms teaching the courses. But any of us would be certainly glad to help you out. So thanks so much for joining us. And we hope that you have a great rest of your winter and that you are looking ahead to joining us in the fall at Ridge High School because we certainly are looking forward to having you. Thank you.